General Ripper, sir.
Group Captain Mandrake speaking.
This is General Ripper speaking.
Yes, sir.
Very well, now listen to me carefully. The base is being put on condition red. I want this flashed to all sections immediately.
Condition red, sir, yes. Jolly good idea. Keeps the men on their toes.
Group Captain, I'm afraid this is not an exercise.
Not an exercise, sir.
This came in on the red phone. My orders are for this base to be sealed tight, and that's what I mean to do, seal it tight. Now, I want you to transmit Plan R for Robert, to the wing.
Major Kong, I know you think this is crazy, but I just got a message from base over the CRM 114. And he called his wing attack Plan R. R for Romeo.
Goldie, did you say wing attack Plan R?
Yes, sir, I have.
Goldie, how many times have I told you guys that I don't want no horsing around on the airplane?
I'm not horsing around, sir. That's how it goes.
Well, I've been to one World Fair, a picnic, and a rodeo, and that's the stupidest thing I ever heard come over a set of earphones. You sure you got today's code?
Yes, sir, it is.
Oh, there's just gotta be something wrong. Wait a second, I'm coming back. Maybe you better get a confirmation from base.
Yes, sir.
Mandrake, I suppose it never occurred to you that while we're chatting here so enjoyably, a decision is being made by the President and the Joint Chiefs in the war room at the Pentagon. And when they realize there is no possibility of recalling the wing, there will be only one course of action open. Total commitment. Mandrake, do you recall what Clemenceau once said about war?
No, I didn't think I do, sir, no.
He said war was too important to be left to the generals. When he said that, 50 years ago, he might have been right. But today, war is too important to be left to politicians. They have neither the time, the training, nor the inclination for strategic thought. I can no longer sit back and allow communist infiltration, communist indoctrination, communist subversion, and the international communist conspiracy to sap and impurify all of our precious bodily fluids.
Now, General Turgidson, what's going on here?
Mr. President, about 35 minutes ago, General Jack Ripper, the commanding general of Burleson Air Force Base, well, perhaps you're forgetting the provisions of Plan R, sir.
Plan R?
Plan R is an emergency war plan in which a lower echelon commander may order nuclear retaliation after a sneak attack if the normal chain of command has been disrupted. You approved it, sir, you must remember. Surely you must recall, sir, when Senator Buford made that big hassle about our deterrent lacking credibility. The idea was for Plan R to be a sort of retaliatory safeguard.
This man is obviously a psychotic.
Well, I'd like to hold off judgment on a thing like that, sir, until all the facts are in.
General Turgidson, when you instituted the human reliability tests, you assured me there was no possibility of such a thing ever occurring.
Apparently,
The 23rd Airborne Division is stationed 7 miles away at Alvarado.
General Faceman, I want them to enter the base, locate General Ripper, and put him in immediate telephone contact with me.
Yes, sir.
Mr. President, if I may advise, under Condition Red, it is standard procedure that the base be sealed off and the base defended by base security troops. Any force trying to enter there would certainly encounter very heavy casualties. If, on the other hand, we were to immediately launch an all-out and coordinated attack on all their airfields and missile bases, we'd stand a damn good chance of catching them with their pants down. Mr. President, we are rapidly approaching a moment of truth, both for ourselves as human beings and for the life of our nation. Now, truth is not always a pleasant thing. But it is necessary now to make a choice, to choose between two admittedly regrettable, but nevertheless distinguishable post-war environments. One where you got 20 million people killed, and the other where you got 150 million people killed. But I do say no more than 10 to 20 million killed, tops, depending on the breaks.
General Turgidson, I think I've heard quite sufficient from you. Thank you very much.
Your eggs, then, they're fresh?
Oh, yes, sir.
I will have poached eggs. And bring me some cigars, please. Havana cigars.
And that will be all for you, sir?
Yes.
Well, now, what happened is one of our base commanders, he had a sort of, well, he went a little funny in the head. You know, just a little funny. And he went and did a silly thing. Well, I'll tell you what he did. He ordered his planes to attack your country. Well, I'll tell you, we'd like to give your air staff a complete rundown on the targets, the flight plans, and the defensive systems of the planes. Yes, I mean, if we're unable to recall the planes, then I'd say that, we're just gonna have to help you destroy them, Dmitri. I'm very sorry. All right, you're sorrier than I am, but I am sorry as well. I am as sorry as you are, Dmitri. Don't say that you're more sorry than I am, because I'm capable of being just as sorry as you are. So we're both sorry, all right? All right.
The fools, the mad fools.
What's happened?
The doomsday machine.
The doomsday machine? What is that?
A device which will destroy all human and animal life on Earth.
All human and animal life?
Are you beginning to understand? Mandrake. Mandrake, have you never wondered why I drink only distilled water or rainwater and only pure grain alcohol?
Well, it did occur to me, Jack, yes.
Have you ever heard of a thing called fluoridation? Fluoridation of water?
Yes, I have heard of that, Jack, yes. Yes.
Well, do you know what it is?
No, I don't know what it is now.
Do you realize that fluoridation is the most monstrously conceived and dangerous communist plot we have ever had to face?
It is not a thing a sane man would do. The doomsday machine is designed to trigger itself automatically.
But surely you can disarm it somehow?
No, it is designed to explode if any attempt is ever made to untrigger it.
Automatically?
It's an obvious commie trick, Mr. President. We're wasting valuable time. Look at the big boy. They're getting ready to clobber us.
Well, this is absolute madness, Ambassador. Why should you build such a thing?
Mandrake, you realize that in addition to fluoridating water, where there are studies underway to fluoridate salt, flour, fruit juices, soup, sugar, milk, ice cream, Mandrake, children's ice cream.
Good. You know when fluoridation first began?
No, I don't, Jack. No.
1946. 1946, Mandrake. How does that coincide with your post-war commie conspiracy, huh?
Peace on earth. Peace on earth. Peace on earth. P-O-E. Purity of essence. O-P-O-E. O-P-E.
Shoot it off! Shoot with a gun! That's what the bullets are for, you twit!
Okay. I'm gonna get your money for you. But if you don't get the President of the United States on that phone, you know what's going to happen to you?
What?
You're going to have to answer to the Coca-Cola Company.
The recall code OPE is being acknowledged, Roger, by elements of the 843 bomb wing. Over and out.
Gentlemen! Gentlemen! Mr. President? I'm not a sentimentalist at all by nature, but I think I know what's in every heart in this room. I think we ought to all just bow our heads and give a short prayer of thanks for our deliverance. Lord, we have heard the wings of the angel of death fluttering over our heads from the valley of fear. You have seen fit to deliver us from the forces of evil.
You know what he says? He says that one of the planes hasn't turned back. He says, according to information forwarded by our air staffs, it's headed for the missile complex at Laputa.
Mr. President, I'm beginning to smell a big, fat, commie rat. I mean, suppose we kiss off his lying about that fourth plane, just looking for an excuse to clobber us. I mean, if the spaghetti hits the fan now, we're really in trouble.
Are you sure? Well, I guess you're just gonna have to get that plane, Dimitri. Dimitri, I'm sorry that jamming your... Listen, I mean, it's not gonna help either one of us if the doomsday machine goes off. Now, well, we'll keep our fingers crossed, Dimitri, and remember, there's just one thing, we are all in this together. We're right behind you, Dimitri. We're with you all the way.
Mr. President, if I may speak freely, the Rusky talks big, but frankly, we think he's short of know-how. I mean, you just can't expect a bunch of ignorant peons to understand a machine like some of our boys. And that's not meant as an insult, Mr. Ambassador. I mean, you take your average Rusky, we all know how much guts he's got. Hell, look at all of them Nazis killed off, and they still wouldn't quit.
Can't you stick to the point, General?
Well, sir, if the pilot's good, see, I mean, if he's really sharp, he can barrel that baby in so low. I mean, you ought to see it sometime. It's a sight. A big plane like a 52. Vroom! It's jet exhaust frying chickens in the barnyard.
Yeah, but has he got a chance?
Has he got a chance? Hell, he's...
Navigator to captain, approaching target at distance 10 miles. Switch from green grid to target orange.
Bomb fusing, master safety on, electronics, barometric, time and impact.
Bomb arming test lights on, 1 through 4.
Check bomb door circuits 1 through 4.
Target orange grid reference checks. Target distance 8 miles. Target distance 7 miles. Correct track indicator -7. Target distance 6 miles. Target distance 5 miles. Target distance 4 miles.
Hey, what about Major Kong?
I have a plan. Monsieur has been